evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, January 7, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines this evening, 30 transports handed over to Bat settlement residents. US $1.27 billion in NRF at end of 2022, says Finance Ministry. 346.2 million contract signed for reconstruction of Northwest Secondary School. ECD vendor nabbed with illegal gun, ammo, 3 others arrested in Berbice with shotgun, and farmer busted with ganja, says it's for a fine hustle because things look hard. Now for the news in detail. Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister Anil Nandlal recently distributed land transports to residents of Bat Settlement, West Coast Berbice, who had bought lands from the Guyana Sugar Corporation decades ago but were never issued any documentation to show ownership. Luana McAllister has our lead story tonight.
Some 30 Bat settlement residents received their transport document on Friday as part of an exercise by the Legal Affairs Ministry in collaboration with other state agencies to ensure land ownership documents are processed and issued. According to Attorney General Anil Nandlal, this process in Bat settlement started over a year ago.
Today culminates a process that we started about a year ago, whereby we came into this community and promised persons who had agreements of sale for with Gaisuku for decades, for lots of land that they have been living on, upon which they have constructed houses, but who have not been granted transports, to work with those people so that they get their transport.
In addition to the Legal Affairs Ministry, the Deeds Registry, the Guyana Land and Surveys Commission, and the Sugar Welfare Fund were involved in the process.
These are the relevant agencies that coordinated their efforts together, and at minimal expense to the residents, we have completed all the conveyancing of these properties from Gaisuku's name over and in favor to the various purchasers.
The Legal Affairs Minister further noted that similar exercises are being undertaken in communities across the country where pockets of persons have not been issued either their certificate of titles or transport document despite occupying lands for years.
We have been going community after community to single out these persons, bring them together, and coordinate a joint effort to produce the title. We did it at Enterprise on the east coast of Demerara. We did it here at Bat Settlement. We have done it on the west coast of Demerara at, I believe it's Tushan, and we are doing it in a few other communities. We are also, through a different process but of a similar type, begun to get title for persons in villages such as Cotton Tree, right here on the west coast. Number 4, 5, 6, and 7 villages right here on the west coast, where persons have been living in these villages for decades, but they have not had title.
Meanwhile, residents were ecstatic to finally receive their land transport.
I live here 25 years, and I have been waiting to get, you don't know that this thing here is secure for your land and your house. But now you feel more happy that you collect this, you're well secure.
This afternoon has been a happy moment for us. I've been trying a very long time. I have been trying. I've been calling the district welfare office very often. And we were unable to have this process go on until I reached the housing ministers who had helped me in getting this to the people in this village here.
If it wasn't of this, you know how much money I've already contacted Alai, and it's about 250,000. I must say, thanks to the government to make it possible.
Well, we need development in the community now.
Thank you. Like 23 years?
Yes.
23 years, and it is so much. I feel so much glad.
Luana McAllister, the Evening News.
The Finance Ministry on Friday disclosed that the balance of the Natural Resource Fund, the overseas-based account that holds all of Guyana's earnings from oil production activities offshore, stood at some US $1.27 billion, or an estimated $266 billion Guyana dollars, at the end of 2022. Here is Rupununi with more.
In a statement, the ministry noted that Senior Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh submitted notification of receipts to Parliament of all petroleum revenues paid to the NRF during the period October 1st to December 31st, 2022. This notification was published in the Official Gazette on January 5th, 2023, and according to the minister, it is a demonstration of the People's Progressive Party civic government's continued commitment to the principles of transparency and accountability in the management of Guyana's oil resources. The NRF Act 2021, which came into operation in January 2022, stipulates that the finance minister could face up to 10 years imprisonment if he fails to disclose the receipt of any petroleum revenue received by the government in the Official Gazette within 3 months of receipt of such monies. The legislation also provides for the establishment of a board of directors, which is responsible for reviewing and approving the policies of the fund and monitoring its performance, thereby separating the management of the fund from the minister. The International Monetary Fund, in its 2022 Article 4 mission to Guyana in May-June of 2022, commended the PPPC government on the amendments made to strengthen the NRF Act. The PPPC government has stated that it intends to continue to manage Guyana's oil resources in a clear and transparent manner to the benefit of the present and future generations. In 2022, the government withdrew a total of $607.6 million US dollars, or 126 billion Guyana dollars, the amount that was approved in the 2022 budget to finance Guyana's national development plans.
A mining and lease agreement was on Friday signed between the Batavia Village Council and the EKAA HRIM Earth Resource Management Incorporated, a move that will bring new opportunities to residents of the Region 7 community. Rupununi joins us again with the details.
The company will be operationalizing a quarry business, and engagements with the community have led to adherence to all duly constituted procedures under the Amerindian Act. One agreement was signed for leasing of land, while another deals with tributes, representing 2 sets of funds that will be paid to the village. The lease covers 1,089 acres of land to the company, with a mining pit of 13 acres. The remaining land will serve as a buffer zone.
It is important for them to proceed with this arrangement, which will bring employment to the community, which will bring income to the community. It will also stimulate much more development of their community and their villages. And of course, on the other side, it means that the investors also will be beneficiary of their investment.
The mining company is part of a group of companies under Texila American University focusing on mining, recruitment, oil and gas, and agriculture. Director Jaswin Pradeep Kumar explained that some 40 persons from the village will gain employment to work for their Batavia operations.
We did start the project, as the minister stated, like the mid of last year. So to get the mining license, there were processes involved, so we had to do the prospecting, which was done with the support of the ministry as well as the villagers. Then after the prospecting, we had to do the drilling to identify the quality of stones available. Again, we had involved the ministry as well as the village, and now we are getting our prospecting license converted to the mining license. It's a process that we followed as per the requirement of GGMC as well as the government.
Tushao of the village, Orin Williams, regarded this initiative as a way of changing lives in the community.
We have seen this project as a project that will change a lot of things for the lives of 4 people. So I'm very much happy to be the Tushao that can actually experience this historical moment, because this is for the first time we will be doing, or we have done such let's say, huge negotiations and signing of such a big contract.
Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Ranks of the Ghana Police Force in the wee hours of today arrested a 34-year-old vendor from Vigilance, East Coast Demerara, after he was found in possession of an unlicensed Glock 9mm pistol along with matching ammunition. The discovery was made at about 1:56 hours when police officers from the East Coast of Demerara were on mobile patrol in Friendship. During the exercise, the officers saw the suspect, Colwyn Barnwell, called Timo, standing with a black plastic bag in his hand. On seeing the police ranks, Barnwell started to walk away and was told to stop, but he ran instead. Nevertheless, the ranks gave chase and the suspect was caught. A search was conducted on him, during which a Glock 17 pistol with no serial number and two 9mm matching rounds of ammunition were found in his pants crotch. The suspect, when asked, told the ranks that he is not a licensed firearm holder. Barnwell claimed that he bought the firearm while he was at Aranca, Region 7. Nevertheless, he was arrested and escorted to Vigilance Police Station, along with the weapon which was lodged. The suspect was placed into custody pending charges. Coming up on the other side of the break, $346.2 million contract signed for reconstruction of Northwest Secondary School. Please stay tuned.
Play and win with Superbet. Visit an agent near you to play all your favorite games. Superbet, your best bet. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to their ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The Ministry of Education has signed a contract for the reconstruction of the Northwest Secondary School at Mabaruma, paving the way for the rebuilding of the Region 1 school that was destroyed by fire in September 2021. Luanda McAllister has the details.
The $346.2 million contract for the reconstruction of the Northwest Secondary School was awarded to Aruka Investments, and the school is scheduled to be completed in 14 months. Education Minister Priya Manik Chan pointed out that the quality of work executed on the project will greatly impact the lives of students by ensuring they receive a proper education in a proper environment. As such, she called on the contractor to deliver quality service and complete the project in the agreed time. According to Manik Chan, the fire has tremendously inconvenienced both students and teachers of the school. On September 25, 2021, the Northwest Secondary School was destroyed by fire. The Education Ministry has since provided support and made alternative arrangements to facilitate the students enrolled at the secondary school until it is rebuilt. The reconstructed Northwest Secondary School will be a two-story building with 23 classrooms, 3 science labs, a sanitary block, and an accessible lift. Meanwhile, Minister Manik Chan further noted that education delivery in the Birima-Wani region will see further development, with new schools scheduled to be built at Waramuri, Osororo, and Quibana over the next few years. Lamana McAllister for the Evening News.
Ranks from the Ituni police station in Region 10 have detained a 58-year-old Berbice farmer after he was found with more than 4 pounds of marijuana. At around 18:25 hours on Friday, the ranks stopped a white 212 motor car outside the police station and carried out a search on the vehicle, along with the driver and 3 passengers. The farmer, Compton Joseph Alicock of Unimiso Junction, Upper Berbice River, was seated in the front seat with a pink haversack between his feet. Upon searching the man, the officers found a bulky black plastic bag containing leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis, stashed in the crotch of his pants. A further check on his haversack unearthed 5 parcels containing more cannabis. The suspect was told of the offense committed and cautioned. He then admitted to ranks that he was taking the marijuana to make a fine hustle because things fell hard. While Alicock was arrested and placed in custody, the driver and other passengers were released after giving statements to the police. The planting season for the 2023 spring rice crop in Region 6 officially closed off on December 31, 2022. But as we hear in this Andrew Carmichael report, about 20% of the land is still left to be sowed. Let's have a look.
At the beginning of November, Region 6 Chairman David Armagon had announced that the last day of December should be the cutoff point for the sowing of paddy. Then he explained that because farmers have been planting at different times, it increases the likelihood of paddy bug infestation, as some would be reaping while others are growing. On Thursday, the chairman said he was pleased with the response from rice farmers who are planting for the spring crop.
Persons have listened to us, farmers, and we did advise them to ensure that they would have planted before the end of December. Nearly 80% of them adhere to our call. Of course, there are always recalcitrants, and so where people tend to go late into the crop because they reap late, and so they got to get back late into the crop. But the entire Blackbush Polder is already planted, more or less, the entire Blackbush Polder, and 5274, and most of the front lands as well. So I'm glad about that.
Armagon said even though the weather is bad to a certain extent for other farmers, it is actually helping rice farmers as water is needed for the growing of rice. However, if the rains continue to fall excessively, the regional administration will have to focus its attention on drainage.
We were trying to assist the Cookrit Savannah people who are rearing animals there to drain through Blackbush Polder. We did it for about a week or so, but then the rains came again yesterday, and we had to put a halt to it. But once the weather holds for another couple of days, we will continue to assist them to save their animals. Because both the rice industry, as well as the cash crop industry, as well as the cattle industry, they're all important for the development and for the progress of the region and the country.
Region 6 was projected to put 63,000 acres under rice cultivation for the spring crop, with rice also being planted at Crabwood Creek and on the east bank of Berbice. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
An intelligence-led police operation at around 14:05 hours in Region 6 has resulted in the arrest of 3 men and the recovery of an unlicensed shotgun with matching ammunition on Friday. The ranks, acting on information received, ventured to Johanna South, Blackbush Polder, Quarantine, where they saw 2 men standing next to a silver-gray 212 vehicle. A search was conducted on the motor car and nothing illegal was found. However, the police then proceeded to the nearby yard where they saw another male in a storeroom. They examined the storeroom and found a single-barrel shotgun with no serial number along with 3 12-gauge cartridges. The police took possession of the firearm and all 3 men were arrested as investigations continue. If you know of a place in Guyana where you can find over 700 species of fish and 600 species of birds, would you go? Karanambu in the North Rupununi is a protected area and is home to most of Guyana's birds species, and a lot of the wildlife we all long to see all live there. Andrew Carmichael joins us again with this special feature.
The North Rupununi district consists of a mixture of forests, savannas, and wet ecosystems and is considered one of the most diverse areas in South America. The Karanambu area is 117 square miles. A lodge is situated right there. The lodge allows visitors to also experience a wide variety of plants. It is operated by Melanie McTurk. The resort offers nature and ecotourism tours. The facility can cater for up to 18 persons. This is where the first privately protected area in Guyana is. It has 5 habitats within the Carunambo area: rivers, flood forest, true savannas, swamps and ponds and lakes, with each unique in terms of the wildlife found there.
And because of that range of habitats, it's an incredibly diverse area. So many of Guyana's giants live here at Carunambo. We are a critical breeding ground for things like jaguar, tapir, capybara, and other large mammals. We're also a very important spawning ground in the wet season for, well, fish stock. And as we know, again, here in the Rupununi, fish is not just about tourism, fish is about livelihoods, because much of the region gets its protein from fish.
Special events include a bird festival between the months of October and November, at which information on conservation and habitat detection is disseminated. Annually, there is also an open day during the Easter weekend.
We offer expeditions across the savannas, for instance, looking for birds, looking for giant anteater. It's definitely one of the most popular excursions. On the rivers, you can look for giant otters, you could look for caimans, snakes, and Carunambo's bird list is almost 600 species strong. So almost a third of the birds accounted for in Guyana, which is 900 right now, are found here at Carunambo. It's also a wonderful area for fishing because of the fact that the watershed between the Amazon river system and the Guyana's river system actually occurs here at Carunambo, where these waters cross over and mix. This is considered to be one of the most aquatically diverse systems in the world, with over 700 species of fish being found in this area.
You mentioned home to some of the giants. One of the things you named was the jaguar. Does that make the area dangerous?
No. You know, again, I think a lot of people forget that wild animals are more afraid of humans than humans are of wild animals. And given the choice, most wild animals will avoid us. It's one of the challenges about offering nature-based and wildlife-based tourism, because it means you have to one, meet nature on its own terms. That means getting there when it wants is active, you know, and two, you know, creating a level of trust so that animals aren't afraid of you and will allow you to approach them.
The lodge is very remotely located in the North Rupununi, 69 miles from the town of Letem. Aircrafts can land, but there are not many people who live within the Carunambo area. Access is mainly by road. Most persons use 4x4 vehicles and minibuses to get there. The evening news team went there on a motorcycle, and it was able to experience the vast Rupununi's huge mountain ranges, valleys and swamps, some with small waterfalls, while at the same time hearing the different sounds of the birds.
We like to think of the lodge as being like a snapshot in time. So a lot of the features here harken back to the early 1920s and the way life was in those days. And, you know, we love our thatch roofs, which are an adaptation of traditional indigenous architecture. And what we've done with them is we've just added a few modern facilities like indoor toilets and a veranda for your hammock sort of thing, so that our guests can be a little bit more comfortable.
For the evening news, Andrew Carmichael.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, January the 8th, 2023, at 5:30 hours for a period of 2 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 5:30 hours on Sunday, January the 8th, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
4 to represent Guyana at IBA's Golden Belt Series. This and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
Gold mining can be expensive if you don't have the right tools. Mining requires engines that can pump high volumes of water and slurry, the most tried and tested of which are Doots engines. Doots engines are among the most reliable in the world. Where can you get them? At your #1 industrial solutions provider, Sylvies. We have them in 2 to 6 cylinders, ranging from 23 horsepower to 80 horsepower. Most miners use Doots engines because they're lightweight, use less fuel, and require less maintenance because they are air-cooled. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets, Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvies Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
This Christmas, guess what? You're guaranteed to save big right at National Hardware Limited. Shopping for Christmas trees? We've got all sizes from the traditional to the ones with a modern twist. Garlands, wreaths, lights, and Christmas inflatables are what you need to bring that Christmas cheer. Out with the old and in with the new. We've got curtains, carpets, and so much more to spruce up your home for the holidays. Save time too, and get presents for both boys and girls, whether big or small. National Hardware has you covered, in more ways than one this holiday season. Check out our superstore at 13 to 14 Industrial Site, Rumvelt. Telephone number 231-1091-95. Or downtown at 17 to 19A Water Street. Telephone number 227-1961.